Yesterday, I wanted to go to bed next to my hot mama Sita to explain to her how the patriarchy works. But apparently, there's a notification from an old app on my computer that I haven't used in ages, and I swear to God, I thought it's some Chinese malware. And it seems that I was close enough because it was the new BattleNet telling me that Warcraft Reforged is going to come out tomorrow. And I'm like, what do you mean Warcraft Reforged is coming out tomorrow? Hey, shouldn't there be some hype about this? Like, shouldn't there be some Let's Players playing it on YouTube filled with people excited about this weeks in advance? Like, no, by the way, this game is coming out. So it was a very low-key release of a Blizzard game. I don't think I've ever seen one like this. You know, even when Hearthstone came out, it was like massive drums and massive buzz on the internet generated. And it's like, what? Are they ashamed of this game? Are they ashamed of what I'm going to find out tomorrow? And apparently, yes. Now, I'm going to play Warcraft Reforged on my live stream channel, and I think I can play this, because you see, I don't have a very good computer. I have a bad computer, like 4 or 5 years old, can't play a lot of games. So I can't live stream a lot, but I think I can live stream the new Warcraft game. And my criticisms to it is that while it does seem that there was a lot of work put into it by the artists, and they did try to make a good game and put a lot of soul into it, unfortunately they didn't have a single gamer on their development team. Because this game is not designed to be playable, it's designed to look nice, but when you have like 10 or 20 units on your screen, I never had the problem, but I can't tell which are my units and which are the enemies. Like, making the difference between a peasant and a ghoul is very difficult, and I'll show you this when I play on my live stream. And this is not just my opinion, by the way. It almost shows that Blizzard is really disgusted with their community. Like, they have so much contempt for the consumer. Like, they treat us like some necessary evil. Honestly, why couldn't you get a single professional player to look at the finished product so he can say, yeah, you know, like, can you make the units a little bit more distinct? Can you make the heroes stand out a little bit more? Can you make the colors a lot more brighter between the different factions or something like that, you know? Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to play with it, not just look at how gorgeous it is. Doesn't look that gorgeous anyway. Like, some of the characters are absolutely nightmare fuel. But anyway, right, let's not even get into that. The controversy today is pointed out by Grums. So if you don't know who Grums is, he is an old Blizzard developer, right? He worked on World of Warcraft. And he points out the shady tactics that Blizzard is doing. And this is absolutely despicable, by the way. So according to Blizzard, right, they don't want to miss the new Dota. So if you use Warcraft's map editor and you come up with something that's very popular and a lot of people tend to enjoy, you don't own the rights to that. Blizzard owns the rights to that. So you can create a map which Blizzard likes, and then they can sell it. They can charge people money to play your mod, and there's nothing you can do. But it's not only that, right? Because there's a little bit extra. So let's say you create something that's really nice. Let's say you create the new Dota, and there's millions of people that are playing it, millions of people that want to experience it. And then you're like, okay, well, I can't monetize that, so maybe I can find a different company, you know, like someone like Riot or someone like Valve, and I can work with them and create a sequel to that game. Well, what will happen is that Blizzard can now sue you. So yes, like, if you use your intellectual property in a Warcraft 3 map editor, you lose all the rights to that. So even if you were to start your business elsewhere after that, it's like, okay, well, you know, Dota is popular, maybe I can try Dota 2 with Valve. Well, now Blizzard can sue you. And you know what's funny? It's like, I don't think they can win. I mean, definitely here, not here in the European Union, because you can't just make people sign a weird license agreement and then I think that's legally binding. You know, maybe that flies in the United States, doesn't fly in the European Union zone. But anyway, my point is that they can still sue you. And good luck winning a lawsuit against a multi-billion-dollar corporation, even if you're in the right. Even if you're the guy that's like, yeah, you know, I think I have a solid case here. Like, they are going to just shit lawyers and lawyers and lawyers after you and make it so expensive for you to go through with this that eventually you're going to go like, well, you know, like, this international lawsuit with this multi-billion-dollar corporation is a little bit too expensive for my independent ass. Let them just have the rights and let's be done with it. Let's settle. You know, and this is why it's disgusting, right? This is why I think Blizzard is so out of touch. The chance of someone actually making a map that is popular or a Warcraft 3 editor is quite low. It's quite slim. Let's be honest, you're not going to get your new Dota. If that were to happen, it would have happened with the StarCraft 2 editor. But it didn't. And it's not going to happen here either. So what ends up happening is you're literally pissing on the goodwill of the community. You're not going to get a new Dota, but what you're going to show to the community is that you are willing to milk them of every single dollar that you can possibly do. And Blizzard is renowned for doing this. You know, they came up with another mount in World of Warcraft. I like to call those mounts a stupidity tax. Like, if you're literally that dumb and you want to play World of Warcraft, you have to pay the tax for that retarded horse in order to keep playing. Like, let me ask the people who still play that game a question. Okay? How rich are you? Are you literally that filthy rich? And if yes, can you not give money to a charity or something? Like, so let me get this straight, right? The new expansion doesn't bring any new races, doesn't bring any new classes, doesn't bring absolutely anything. There's literally no reason why they couldn't have the new expansion in free content, in free patches. There's absolutely no reason why they're charging you extra for it. But you're willing to pay. Fine. Maybe you're into the story or something like that, which I understand is amazing. I understand the ending of the current expansion. Best shit ever. You need to see it. A tower falls down or something. It's like, just Google it. Another controversy. I'm not even going to get into that. But here's what I don't get, right? There is literally nothing else to do in the current expansion. Like, after you finish the last raid, there is nothing. Like, there's nothing. And when you're not raiding, there's also nothing to do. So, you are literally that dumb as to give them money for the next 7, 8, 9 months, if not a year, so that they can make an expansion that they will then sell it to you at full price. Just how dumb of a consumer are you? You know, some people don't realize that. And some people are like, well, V, you know, they still enjoy the game. They still enjoy the game, so that's why they're playing. Listen, if all of you would get together on a forum, because let's be honest, there's probably 10 of you guys that are playing this game right now. If all 10 of you would get together on a forum and would say, enough, let's just not pay for 3 months and see what happens. Do you know what will happen? Either this game will become free to play, or they would actually have to hire some talented people that would make better content to justify you giving them money. But seeing that you're not capable of doing that, instead they're going to milk you through other avenues, such as that retarded horse, which you're going to pay money for, or I don't know, some new cosmetic armor or some bullshit like that, and you're willing to just cough up the cash. So why would Blizzard ever try to become more inventive in their game? And by the way, like, I remember the World of Warcraft community, like, you cannot find more stupid consumers on this planet. Like, I swear to God, every corporation prays that it will find consumers like the ones that play World of Warcraft. They were actually advocating for Blizzard not to make the game free to play. Like, no, like, just $15 a month plus the full price for an expansion. And people were saying, no, it's a good thing that we need to pay money because it keeps the kids away from playing. Ah, I see. Yes, the children. Well, in that case, Alinity's tits are probably the best thing that have ever came up on the internet because it keeps the children from playing World of Warcraft. The little money they have, they used to buy bits and they used to pay for Alinity's tits, right? Like, well, thank you for e-thoughts, I guess. My God, if I were to delve into the Blizzard community and make a series of videos, I would have material to go for years. But at the expense of my sanity, of course. And by the way, from what I understand, and I do have insider information on this, it seems that Blizzard has taken all of the talent away from World of Warcraft because they started to realize it's a dead cow at this point, and if they can milk it for a little bit longer, then they will, which is why the new expansion barely has any content that's different than what actually is in the game at this point. And they moved most of the talented people to the Diablo 4 project. Unfortunately, however, it seems that the new Diablo 4 is going to suffer from Mortal Kombatitis. If you don't know what that is, it means that all of the men are going to be ripped. nicely packed, looking like Egyptian gods with a big donkey dick in the... While the women are going to be holy and not sinful, just the way that Muhammad wanted, because this is the way that the Lord has decided that fictional characters need to look in a video game. Heaven forbid you accuse Blizzard of racism. You can accuse them of milking their consumers. You can accuse them of bad business practices. But sexism and racism, no. And sucking the Chinese cock, another thing you can accuse them. But definitely not sexism. How out of touch can these people just be with their consumer base is beyond me. I mean, honestly, just spend some time on Reddit if you don't want to go on 4chan, because the last time a gaming company decided to bypass the game journals and actually go where the actual gamers are, oh my god, the articles, I even hear them now. Okay, so go on Reddit, you know, go on gaming forums that aren't operated by Silicon Valley, see what the actual gamer has to say. Hell, you even have your own forums, but they are so moderated that if you have even the most slightest unpopular opinion, you get banned. So you're not going to get what people are actually saying. Just start a survey in your own games, for the love of God. You can do that. You know, if anyone purchased your game, then clearly he has an educated opinion as a customer on what he would want to see. And ask them, do you think we should show you some titties, or do you think we should cover the women up? And you'll see what people have to say. You know, if it turns out that I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it turns out that what I am saying is completely wrong and the game journalists and Allah and Muhammad are right, then by all means put burqas on them. But I have a feeling I might be right. I have a feeling that most of the consumer base would actually pay $30 DLC for a pair of good titties. Anyway, rant over. Go play your games now. I'm a little bit upset today because of things. So just